Hi, third grade. Today we're learning another new concept, and it's multiplying with two-digit factors. Now, this may seem scary at first because it's brand new, but like everything we've done that's brand new, if we take a step back and we look at the steps and take each step by step by step, we get through it, and it's not so hard. Remember when big division looked hard to you? And then you just realized, oh no, I just do the step by step over and over again. We break it down and it's really not that scary. So you're gonna need page 287 in front of you. So pause me if you need to go get that. And we're gonna actually do all of number one, the first 5 problems. We're gonna do that together. So now so behind me, these are two-digit factors, multiplying with two-digit factors. This has 2 digits and this has 2 digits. You're used to just doing it like this, right? But now we're adding in big numbers, and it's actually really easy. There's 3 steps when you do this. First, you multiply the ones, then you multiply the tens, and then you add those together. So it's really easy. We're going to start with letter A, and we're going to do all of them together. So just follow me step by step, fill in like I fill in, and by the time we get to the end, you should understand it, okay? All right, so your first question says 31 times 14. Now our first step, multiply, add. Our first step is multiplying, and when we're doing a problem, always in math, always you start in the ones. You start with the ones. So we're going to multiply our first multiplying in the ones. So we're going to pretend like this 10, this 1 in the tens place, doesn't exist. And we're only going to multiply the ones. So we have 1 times 4 is 4. And we have 3 times 4 is 12. Okay? Now, we're done with the ones. We don't have any more ones. So the technique I use when I'm starting out is I cross off this 1 down here because we're done multiplying with it. We don't need it anymore. Okay? Now we're going to multiply by the tens. But the trick is we need to put a 0 down here in our ones because we're not multiplying any ones this time. We're only multiplying in the tens column. So we put a 0 down here because we're not multiplying any ones. We have 0 ones this time. Now we're on to our second step. We're going to multiply the tens. We have 1 times 1 is 1, and then 3 times 1 is 3. Okay, now we've done our 2 multiplying steps. Now we're going to our adding step. Now we have to add these 2 together. 4 plus 0 is 4. 2 plus 1 is 3. 1 plus 3 is 4. And there's our answer all the way at the bottom. Now, let me show you why this works. Let's separate this out, and let's pretend like we have 31 times 4 and then 31 times 10. So if we have 31 times 4, we know how to do that really easy. That's just 4 and 12. Then if we have 31 times 10, I don't know if you remember me teaching you this, but when you have any number times 10, you just add a 0 here. So we have no ones, but we have 31 tens. You put a 0 on the end. And look what we have, 134 and 310. So if we add those 2 numbers together, we get our answer. Okay? Let's try it again on letter B. If you need to pause me to finish up the problem, or if you need to pause me to ask a question, that's fine. You don't have to run this through. You can pause me, whatever you want. All right, so we've got 21 times 12, okay? We have a times by the ones, and then we have a times by the tens, and then we add them together, okay? So first we're gonna pretend like the 10 isn't here, and we're just gonna multiply by the 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4, okay? Now we're done with the 1s. Now we're gonna add by the 10s. But we need to put our 0 here because we have no 1s. No more 1s, so we put our 0 in our first row. Now we're going to multiply in the 10s. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 1 is 2. We're going to add those together. 2 plus 0 is 2. 4 plus 1 is 5. Nothing plus 2 is 2. So our answer is 252. Okay? Pause me again if you need to catch up if I went too fast. Now let's go over to C. Okay? Remember, multiply 1s, multiply 10s, then add them together. So we're going to start by pretending the 10 isn't here and only multiply by this 1. 2 times 1 is 2. 4 times 1 is 4. Okay, now we're done with our 1s. Now we're going to multiply with our 10s. We need our 0 here because we don't have any 1s. We don't need that there. So we've got 2 times 1 is 2. 4 times 1 is 4. Our last step, we're going to add them together. 2 plus 0 is 2. 4 plus 2 is 6. Nothing plus 4 is 4. And our answer is 462. Pause me if you need to finish, if I went too fast for you. And we're going to go on to D. Okay, remember our steps. Multiply the 1s, multiply the 10s, then add them together. Okay, 13 times 31. We're going to cover up the 3. The 10s don't exist right now. We're only talking about the 1s. 3 times 1 is 3. 1 times 1 is 1. Okay, now we're done with our 1s, and we're going to go on to our 10s. But we're done with our 1s, so our second column gets a 0. No more 1s. Okay, now we're going to go on. 3 times 3 is 9. 1 times 3 is 3. Okay, last step, we're going to add those together. 3 plus 0 is 3. 9 plus 1 is 10. 1 and 3 is 4. 403. Okay, if I went too fast and you need to catch up, feel free to pause me. We're going to go on to E, remembering our steps. Multiplying the 1s first, then multiplying the 10s, then adding them together, okay? So we're going to cover up the 10s, pretend it doesn't exist. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, now we're done with the 1s. Now we're going to the 10s, which means in our second line, we have no 1s. 0 1s right here. We're going to our 10s. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. Our last step is adding. Okay? 4 plus 0 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. And nothing plus 2 is 2. So our answer is 264. The important thing to remember is the 3 steps. You add the 1s, you add the 10s, or you multiply the 1s, multiply the 10s, and then add it all together. Don't forget when you get to the 10s that you have no 1s, so you need to put a 0 in that spot because you have no 10s.